Hey everybody, it's Kelly O'Black for this week's Sketch It Out Thursday. This is our inspiration board for the week, and I'm in love with the colors, the roundness of the lanterns, and then that little touch of gold in the tassels. This is my sketch for the week. It was a sketch that Sarah used in our online challenge for her challenge. I think it was the 11 o'clock challenge. It comes from Shamel Lane, so I love this sketch. I'm going to scrapbook this photo of my brother and sister and their spouses, and then my nephew and his wife. They had just finished a round of golf, and they were dressed in alike colors, which was perfect. I love this photograph of them, but I'm going to use it to tell the story of how much I love the love that they all show each other. You'll see in the journaling, my sister and brother-in-law have been married 28 years. My brother and his wife have been married 15 years, and my nephew and his wife at this time were married 2 months. So I just thought it was a really cool contrast about true love and everlasting love and just family love. So anyway, I'm going to start my layout. That background paper that you'll see more of in just a minute is from Pink Paisley Fancy Free. It's the number 11 paper, and it has a lot of those really gorgeous corals and pinks in it from the inspiration board. And then I went and found that aqua grid paper that is from My Mind's Eye. It's from the I Believe collection. The name is Wreaths, and it's a Christmas paper. You'll see that later when I cut it. I'll show that to you. And then that beige sort of herringbone paper that I used to mat the photo is also from Pink Paisley Fancy Free. It's paper number 4. Now I'm taking the Pink Paisley Fancy Free paper with the circles on it. It's paper number 3, and I'm cutting those circles out with like appropriate sentiments on them. And I'm going to play a little bit with these and change the one on the bottom right out. And then before I started this, I pulled from my collection of flare badges and wood buttons and those kinds of things, a couple of badges and buttons that I thought would be kind of fun to use on this. I have a lot of sort of love things, and since I'm single, I don't use a lot of the love sentiments themselves, unless I'm talking about like my grandkids or family members or whatever. So I just thought it would be really cool to use it on this particular layout. So I have my 2-inch punch there from Marvi Uchida, and sorry you can't see that, it's a little bit off camera there. I think I have another couple layouts coming up. I switched my scrap space temporarily to my living room so I could scrap during the crop last weekend, and so my camera setup is a little bit different than it has been. So I have 2 circles here. The one that I just put down says love this, and then the other one says sweet and lovely. Now, I told you I liked that little touch of gold in those tassels in the inspiration board, so I'm going to take these freckled fawn glitter hearts, and they are from their chipboard glitter hearts. They are from the just freckled fawn glitter hearts is what they're called, and I got them on their website. At first, I think I'm going to use that open heart, and I do like the open heart, but I'm going to change that because of how I'm going to want it positioned. Now, when I first started this, I thought I might use a little bit of gold, a little gold doily behind that photograph, but when I put it down, I just decided it was too formal for the casualness of all of them in their golfing clothes, and my brother is actually holding a putter there, and my sister's holding her golf gloves, and I think my nephew has a putter as well. So I just decided, enough there that was plenty. So it was too much, I guess, as it was. All right, so I did just cut down that wreath paper there, and you saw the background of it. And I like how that just brings in the aqua element from the inspiration board. At first, I was a little concerned about using just that aqua on top of the pink, because I like to, when I combine colors, I like to sort of get like a stripe or a dot or something with all the colors in it to help it make sense. But in the end, I think this looks just fine, and I'm fine with it, with the colors sort of being blended by this that way. Then what I'm going to do is, because I want the elements to stand off the background a little bit, I'm inking all my edges in my favorite ink to use to ink things. It's the Memento Dewdrop Gray Flannel ink. And there you can see the background of, that's what I wanted to show. I'm showing you that's actually a Christmas paper. So, which actually was one of the challenges for our online crop this weekend. And I think you'll see this go up on Thursday, so you still have time to go back and enter the challenges, enter layouts into the challenges if you want to win a prize. Most of them, I believe, had prizes. I know mine is a $10 gift certificate to a cherry on top. And there were quite a few others that were gift certificates to different places. So anyway, I'm back to the layout again. I'm inking all of those edges in that Memento Dewdrop, and I've said this, I know, a couple of times, at least on my own channel. I love that ink because it's dark, but it's not black. And if you use it with a foam applicator, it really does ink in a lighter gray. Now in this particular case, I wanted a little bit of a darker edge, so I did use that. So I'm playing around a little bit with these flare badges and how I'm going to use them. And I flipped where the badges were and where the heart was on the bottom. And then these are the like enamel stickers that come with the Pink Paisley Fancy Free collection. And I saw that that said most favorite, and I actually thought that would be really cool because it is one of my most favorite pictures of all of them, but just the fact that their love is just sort of my most favorite as well too. The name of it's from the Fancy Free collection, like I said, and it just is labeled stickers, just so you know that. I don't know if you can even get those anymore because Fancy Free was so popular when it first came out. It was hard to get many, if any, of the embellishments there. So I'm going to put down that cluster up at the top. That heart and the You Plus Me Equals Love flare are both from the Crate Paper Love Notes collection, the adhesive badges. And that collection is quite a few years old. I think I found that those like at a discount store though at one point, and I love that collection and the one right before it, which was called Paper Hearts. So I still have pieces of paper from that, and it's always good to have a few love badges on there. Just the You Plus Me Equals Love isn't all that helpful to me at the moment. Then I had the Jelly Bean Soup button there, and I don't know, there was something about it that I just was not caring for. I think it was the different texture, considering everything else was a little bit shinier. So I traded that out for another flare. So the back, that heart, that circle says love this. And then the XOXO heart badge is also from the Crate Paper Love Notes adhesive badges. And the coral colored one with the heart on it is actually a badge from 2Ps. So a flare badge from 2Ps. So I loved their badges when they came out. The one thing that I'm not very happy about though is that they rust, or some of them have rusted. So I've noticed this with October Afternoon badges as well too, that not all of them do it, but some of them are actually rusting. And I've had to throw out probably 4 or 5 of my 2Ps badges that I still had and use. I go through periods where I use a lot of flare and then I don't use it. So that kind of is what it is, I guess. So I'm going to play around a little bit with this title. It's kind of nice because it's a little bit bendable. I want it to partially touch the photo and then partially touch that cluster as well. Like I'm going to get the edge of the T to touch the cluster. So then I'm going to have to take the most and then move it again so that it's kind of sandwiched in there. There's not any green in the inspiration piece, and there's not any green anywhere else in this layout, but there's a big gulfing green on there. So I actually like the fact that there's a little bit of green in that, and I just think it does a nice job. And then actually I'm going to put another circle on there. I forgot this. The other circle that I put on here has a little bit of green for the title. So it sort of carries its way down. So there's a little add to that. But this is just one of those things where I was so inspired by that inspiration board to use the circles themselves and then the badges to mimic those lanterns. All right, so here's where I decide that it's looking a little bare towards the bottom. I know I want to journal on this yet, but I don't think I'm going to have all that much to say. And I decide to add another cluster of circles and a heart, or badges and a heart. And I'm playing around a little bit with the colors of what I'm going to do until I figure that out. And what's going to happen is I think that pink circle was just a little bit too bright. So I'm going to look to see if I can find another circle that I think is appropriate. And I find the one that says you plus me. And since this is about the couples and their love for each other, that's like perfect. So there's that. And now you can see where a little bit more green is going to come into my layout. And I have not quite finished moving around which badges I'm going to use. I'm going to change one of them out. No, actually, I didn't find the you plus me one. It'll be just a second. Now I'm going to find the you plus me. I can't, those of us who do these videos know sometimes it's really hard to read what your screen says. So sometimes it kind of fools you into thinking that you're done before you are. There's the you plus me. And I like how that echoes the lighter circle at the top. It's not calling as much attention to itself. And there is a lot going on this layout with all the badges. You know, I'm hoping that the photo is still standing out. And from this perspective, it does still stand out when I'm looking at it like that. But, you know, I didn't want it to be not about the photo. So I have the two badges down now that I'm going to use. And the Love You Flare, which I just put on, which is in that really dark coral color, is from the Project Life collection. It's the Kiwi collection, and it just is called Flare. I bought those at Joann's, just so you know that. And then the Camera Flare is from American Crafts, the hashtag Summer collection, and it's the Flare adhesive badges that one is from. So I love how that's turning out. And I used up 6 pieces of Flare on here, which is awesome. Not that you have to use them all up on one layout, but you know, it is nice. And there's a lot of repetition. And like I said, it's a lot of loved theme Flare. And I can only put so many pink hearts on my grandson's layouts before it gets a little, I don't know. I do use pink on their layouts, but that's a little much eventually. Okay, and what I'm doing here is I'm just using adhesive dots or zots or glue dots, whichever, in a large size to attach those. I did take, they had foam squares behind a few of those dots, and I took them off because there's already a lot of dimension on this. I didn't want to add any more dimension than what I already had. And so here's where I just journal, and I'll just tell you what it says. It says, I love these guys and the love that they have for each other. Long-term marriages and newlyweds, but they are all the definition of true love. Mark and Tina, 28 years. John and Cinnamon, 15 years. Sebastian and Megan, 2 months. 8/6/16. So I have a little bonus for you at the end. So watch all the way to the end, because I have the still shots and a couple of detail shots by my layout, but of this layout. But then after that, it will be followed by 2 still shots of 2 different other takes on this sketch that I did. One of them I posted to Sarah's challenge, and then the other one is going to be in an upcoming video of mine. But they're both 2 different takes. A little bit, I take the middle piece on one of them and use it, make it into a banner, and the big large photo mat, and then the other one I actually shift everything over to the left and use a journaling card to the right. So it'll just be 2 different ways, 2 different takes on how you can use a sketch, and I thought it was just kind of interesting to include. So hope you are all well, take care, and we'll see you again on Crafty Maven Getaway. Bye!